Today we're going to be talking about the Entrepreneur PR680W from Brother. Let's go. So the Entrepreneur is that one is going to be replacing the Entrepreneur PR655, which is a multi-needle, 6-needle, free arm embroidery only machine. These things go for a lot of money, and that makes it super specific of the type of person that's going to buy them, and we're going to get into that. Because they're super specific, there isn't a whole lot of multi-needles to actually consider seriously. And that's part of the reason why this machine is super hard to recommend. You can't really compare these to domestic embroidery machines because they're really, really honed in on saving time and being super efficient at embroidery. These are like the baby versions of industrial multi-head machines. I used to sell a lot of the baby lock version of the previous version of this machine, of the 655. Previously, it was a super compelling option for someone that didn't want to spend even more money on a 10-needle machine, but now it kind of falls through the cracks. Here's why. The free arm machine on this VR680W is designed to do things that you wouldn't normally be able to do with a domestic machine. It allows you to more easily do things like hats or onesies or backpacks that are much more challenging to do on standard embroidery machines. And because of that, because it saves you time not needing to switch out the colors all the time, and it's just bigger and more expensive and limits the amount of people that are interested in buying this type of machine. The two people that are interested in buying this machine are enthusiasts and small businesses. People that want to do this sort of thing and have the money for it, and people that are trying to do this for a production side of things and are trying to make money doing it. And I can't recommend this machine to either of those demographics. So like I said before, this replaced the previous 6-needle machine from Brother in some minor but important ways. So it has a Wi-Fi, which is the most important. 2021 getting released piece of technology, probably over $10,000, that has Wi-Fi. Well, it should be a freaking duh, but yeah, it's up. The upgraded machine has Wi-Fi, so you can send designs over the internet. You can update it over the internet and not have to plug in a USB, which is convenient. And the whole point of these machines are saving you time. So, duh, put Wi-Fi in it. It also has some fonts, which is cool. And definitely you would use that feature either as an enthusiast or a small business. And it has some designs that you're probably not going to use. But yeah, and it has stitching. Echo stitching.
I think it's 8x12 instead of 7x12 too.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an average hoop size. I mean, it's fairly large. For most things, it's going to be able to fit in the hoop size. So it's not really going to make much of a difference. The echo stitching is cool, The echo stitching is cool, but it's super niche. Essentially, you're not going to buy a machine just for that. So yeah, it's a minor upgrade. It's not worth upgrading if you have one already. It's like another model of a car, a newer model of the same car. Most of the time is not going to make any sense. So you'd be buying this, wanting to get a new multi-needle machine, probably for the first time. These things last a long, long time, and someone looking to buy another one. Yeah, someone looking to buy one of these is probably either adding to what they already have as business or buying one for the first time. So just being in the industry, there's really not a whole lot of variance and the kind of person that is buying these machines because they're so niche. So let's talk about small business owners. Small business owners are going to have more than likely professional digitizing software that they're designing stuff and then moving over. They are probably not digitizing on the machine, which it is capable of doing. So you're paying for a feature that you're probably not going to use as a small business. You are digitizing on a computer, which, by the way, the Tajima Juki Sai exists, which not only comes with an embroidery software, but outperforms for about the same price. If you're buying something for a business that's going to be production based, it's going to be speed based, the Tajumi, the Tajumi Juki Sai, the Tajima Juki Sai is going to outperform it. Now, if you looked at this on paper and said, oh, well, the brother has 1,000 stitches per minute and the Tajima, the Juki, has 800. Well, you could see that and say, well, the brother is faster. Well, it's not. If you put both of them next to each other, the Juki is going to outperform it because it ramps up to that max speed faster and maintains it longer. And on a more complicated design, it will beat out the brother every single time. That alone, the speed of production alone, all things being equal, is going to put the Tajima as my recommended purchase for someone that is looking for this specific thing. It's more affordable than a $20,000 machine. It's a hell of a lot more affordable than a multi-head machine from Tajima, which they make multi-head freaking 10-foot long embroidery machines. If you can't afford that and you're wanting something professional and you're running a small business, I don't want to get the brand that you could stick with as your business grows. Yeah. It's more complicated to use than the brother. But barely. I mean, you have to learn this sort of stuff anyways to be effective at multi-needle embroidery. So it's faster. It's from a brand that makes multi-head machines, and the Juki brand also makes industrial sewing machines. It really is in this really sweet spot of what I consider like a prosumer model, where it has high-end features, but it's not quite the $100,000 machine. I find with a lot of technology, you have a scale. On one end, you have user friendliness, and the other hand, you have features. And I find on this level, that's really the divide between what you're getting from a brother or Baby Lock, for that matter. They have the same versions of this machine, and then moving over to the other end, which is going to be user friendly or not user friendly, or slightly more complicated to use, but have more features because you have to accommodate for multiple different features. There's not a huge gap there, but there is a gap where you're going to have slightly more of a learning curve with Juki, but it's going to be worth it in the end because you have a little bit more feature set that's geared towards professionals rather than enthusiasts. So as a small business, I would say, for your money, I'd probably go with a Tajima Sai and not this. And that's with all things being equal with the new PR680W Entrepreneur. Like, yeah, if they're around the same price or about the same price, it's probably going to give the W2 the Juki Tajima Sai. But I bet you that because it's a slightly older machine, the Tajima is, the Sai is, and because I've seen it go on sale way cheaper than the Intrepid did, which was the Baby Lock version of the previous version of this machine. So essentially, I've seen the Sai cheaper than the PR655. I bet you that the Sai is going to be priced more competitively anyways. So it's probably cheaper and it's definitely quicker. I'd probably go with that if you are doing a small business. If you're not doing a small business, then you're an enthusiast. So let's talk about that. Enthusiast, why are you buying a multi-needle machine? Because it's fun. And that's totally fine. You're buying a multi-needle machine because you can afford it and you love embroidery. That's it. If you can afford a $13,000 machine, good for you. Do it. It's your hobby. You're going to have a blast. It saves you time. It's super easy to use. Remember that spectrum I was talking about? Moving over to the user-friendly side, you're going to have a better user experience as a consumer with the Brother. You have the Disney designs, which is for some people, but the interface of it is going to be more easy to learn. The learning curve is nowhere near as bad. And there's some cool features that the PR680W has that the Sai isn't. But if you're getting into this because you want the best of something, because you want an easier time, because you want a better user experience, then we need to talk about the 10 needle. Yeah, 10 needles are a thing. And they save the coolest features for their high-end models. Brother has a 10 needle embroidery free arm multi-needle machine called the Entrepreneur Pro something or other. And that's going to have some extra usability features, extra user-friendly features, extra really cool technology features for a few $1,000s more. Always. So if you're an enthusiast and you're getting into it and you have a 6 needle, why not get a 10 needle, which is going to have more colors, which means you're threading it even less. It has some cool things like a camera to where you can do basically picture perfect placement and some other cool stuff in there. It has a larger hoop size, so you can do bigger embroidery designs. And if that's your reason for buying a multi-needle machine, spend the extra money. If you're not doing it for money and you're investing over $10,000 into your hobby, which is going to be like your, not even your second machine, it's probably going to be like your third or fourth machine, go ahead and spend the extra money. I cannot think of a time that I legitimately sold it to an enthusiast, sold a 6 needle machine to an enthusiast that didn't want the 10 needle. I pretty sure I even remember people buying the 6 needle and going, this isn't enough, and then buying the 10 needle. Like, you're gonna want the upgrade, and if you're buying it for enthusiast reasons, get the best you can. Spend the money. It's that simple. You're gonna do way cooler stuff. It's so much easier to use. It has more needles, which means it's saving more time. And I still wouldn't recommend the 6 needle Brother because there's just better, funner options out there for you. We are planning on releasing some new videos like this. We're covering all of the new Brother machines that have just been released, as well as the Tajima Sai, just because we think that it's going to be worth an entire video dedicated to just that, because we really do think it is one of the most competitive multi-needle machines that you could get. We highly recommend it. If you like us, like this video, subscribe so you can get more content. And also, oh, look at this baby. Support your local sewing machine store. Go to them, especially if you're looking to buy a multi-needle machine. Please go to your local sewing machine store and actually stitch something out. Stitch a design that you're familiar with and get comfortable with that machine. If you can't do that, welcome to this community. You can help us out by buying something through the link below, and getting to compare and contrast online does do a lot to help you buy the machine. Just take things with a grain of salt. So if you can't support your local sewing machine store, You can support us by buying that link down below. Other than that, that's my soapbox. Have a great day. Bye! Look at this baby.
Subscribe for cute chunky babies.
Subscribe for chunks.
You like being on camera?